What's the word, YouTube? You're watching the greatest sports channel on earth. I'm your host, Quillysantana. You're watching the Brains of Sports. And welcome back to the Brains of Sports podcast, man. We drop here with another video. I told y'all we got real content coming up. We consistent. You know what I'm saying? NFL season, it's the best time of the year. You know what I'm saying? Basketball around the corner. Postseason baseball is a couple days away. The Red Sox, like I said, we know we will be making the playoffs for sure. NFL season, this the best time of the year. Today we got a new segment for y'all. It's gonna be a new weekly segment. You know what I'm saying? The King of the Turf segment, where we ranking the top 10 QBs in the NFL. I mean, not the top 10 QBs, but ranking all 32 quarterbacks in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So let's get y'all over to that real quick. Let's get right into it. Yep, let's get right into it. Welcome to the King of the Turf. You know what I'm saying? This is what this how we starting it off right here. Simple and easy. Bam! King of the Turf camp. Now, you look at the bottom right there, you see the free agents right there. You know what I'm saying? You see Russ, Spencer Rattler, Jake Brown, and Carson Wentz. These are the guys that did not get picked up or they got dropped from the camp. These niggas that got dropped from the camp or didn't even make the team. Also, disclaimer, if you don't see a couple guys on here, disclaimer, like Joe Burrow. Joe is not on here because Joe has a serious injury that he can miss the whole year for. So the rule is if you are week to week, you can make the pyramid. You can make the list. But if you're out for a long period of time, you cannot make the list at all. So like Brock Purdy's he's out for multiple weeks, so Brock is not on here either. So this is a disclaimer. If you're not playing, it's hard for me to rank you when you're not playing. But if you're week to week, you could still make the list because you literally could play Sunday, Thursday, Monday, whenever y'all game is. So this is the free agents right here. These guys is not making the camp. Let's get to our first bottom row. Let's get to the bottom row, man. Let's get to the bottom row. Bam! You got Bo Nix, Mac, Money Mac. You know what I'm saying? Them basically the same people. Justin Fields, Playoff Flacco, Penix, Tua, Bryce. Penix damn near was a free agent. I'm not gonna lie. That game he had last week, and he cost me money. That game Penix had last week against Carolina was terrible. Nigga threw a pick. Didn't he have a pick six and like 2 picks? The ball was hitting. The ball wouldn't even reach the receivers. 5 yards short, 3 yards short. It was a terrible game. To the bottom of the list. Tua really had, besides week 1, Tua's had, as far as statistical wise, week 2 and week 3, Tua's played good. I mean, I don't think he deserved to be a free agent and kicked to the sideline of the camp. But yeah, Bryce had an alright 2 weeks. You know, they won 30-0. You know, he's played better than those guys as free agents. You know what I'm saying? I think these guys right here are all on the same tier of play through the first 3 weeks of the season. Also, I think I'm recording this Friday, so Sam Darnold and Kyler has already played, but I think they're still in the same tier where they at, even with last night's game. Let's get to the next row, man. See some more risers. Bam! You got CJ Stroud, A-Rod, Sam Darnold, Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence, Cam Ward. The biggest concern for me is CJ Stroud. I have no reason to believe CJ Stroud should be on this row, at the second bottom row. And the only reason he's here, well, I don't say the only reason, like, oh, there's something. No, CJ's been bad. I'm not going to lie. CJ's been bad. Like, that's what it is. The Texas offense suck. They can't pass. They can't run. They can't block. They just terrible. You know what I'm saying? CJ's play has really not been good. CJ's not lifting that team's play up at all. I haven't seen anything good from CJ. And he even struggled last year. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like, I fully understand that without an offensive line, you're going to struggle. Any quarterback in the NFL is going to struggle with a bad offensive line. Also, the problem is, though, it doesn't look like he's a standout. Like, his talent is like, oh, yeah, he's playing well, but when he gets some time, if they can block or no, that offense looked piss poor even with him. Even with the bad offensive line. Like, he's not a bright spot in that offense. That whole offense looked ass. The whole offense is flat out terrible. Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward has serious potential. I understand Cam Ward's mindset. I don't think him and his receivers are on the same page at all. Like, when Cam Ward sees a 7-man front where it's 7 people at the line and they're giving him a pressure look, I don't think the receivers understand that they have to take 3 steps and turn their head. Cam understands. My time clock goes from, what's the average time for a quarterback? Like 2.5 seconds or something like that, 2.7-ish. Goes from average time to probably about 1.9. It drops. So he can only take 2-3 steps. The ball got to come out because they're sitting at 7 or sitting at 6. It's 2 guys it's unassigned for. So if we send them 5 out, you know what I'm saying, guys have to get their head around. Like, he's throwing so many passes to guys where, like, they're the ones that's late. They're the ones that's not understanding that they have to get their head around. Because he's throwing the ball right on time, like where it should be. Because he doesn't have time to let you run a full route or get 6, 7, 8 yards down the field. You got to get 4 yards down the field, 3 yards down the field, and just look. Because the ball's coming. He's throwing a lot of balls that should be caught. I'm not going to lie. He understands the timing of the NFL. I don't think, because what a lot of young quarterbacks struggle with is the speed of the NFL. They struggle with the speed of the NFL. I don't think Cam is struggling with the speed of the NFL at all. I think Cam is doing very good with the speed of the NFL on a lot of these possessions, on a lot of these drives, a lot of these plays. He's dealing with the speed of the NFL very well. He just needs to, that's taking also the next step as a quarterback, as being a leader of getting those receivers and those tight ends on the same page of, look, if we get a 7-man pressure, you got 3 yards, turn your head. Because the ball might be right on you. Like I said, they would have beat Denver week 1 if the receivers could catch, if the receivers would literally just turn their head after 3 yards. Like, how are y'all getting up to the line of scrimmage and not seeing, okay, they got an all-out pressure blitz, all-out blitz pressure. Look, 7 defenders on the line, 8 defenders on the line. How are you still trying to run up the route and just not looking? You're looking too. By the time y'all look, the ball here. They're reaching out and doing this. The ball's past their hand. Y'all look. Y'all reacting. Y'all looking back for the ball way too late. Cam's throwing it when it needs to be thrown. He doesn't have that time. His time is cut in half when they're sending that many people at him. I think Cam Ward got a lot of potential. I like what I'm seeing from Cam. Everybody else really alright. Like Sam, Trevor, and Brian Thomas Jr. is not on the same page. Oh, I hate that because Brian Thomas Jr. is on my fantasy team. I need them to lock in. Aaron Rodgers, he just alright. Like, it's time for him to go into the sunset. Let's get to the next row. Man. Who we have here? We got Drake May, Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Geno. Jaden Daniels stays where he's at because he didn't play last week. Geno had a good game against Washington. Stays where he at. Caleb had a fantastic game against the trash Cowboys. 4 touchdowns, almost 300 passing yards. Jordan Love was, and that entire Green Bay offense was terrible. And Jordan Love probably had like the worst interception of the entire NFL season so far. Not like as far as being a bad throw. I'm talking about like the impact that it had. Because they're going to win that game against Cleveland if he just doesn't turn the ball over. Because Cleveland was not going to go down, drive down the field for a game-winning touchdown on Green Bay. Well, they didn't do it even when they won the game. Actually, because the pick Jordan Love threw, they ran it back to the 4-yard line, and then they punched it in, which tied the game up. And then they didn't do anything with it, and that's how Cleveland ended up getting the ball back at the end of the game and being able to hit a field goal to win it. But if he doesn't throw that pick, they're not driving down the field scoring a touchdown on Green Bay at all. So he literally blew that game for them. Terrible performance. Drake May, the GOAT. Drake May moves up. He moves up a tier. I think Drake May has been playing probably out of the second year rookies. I think Drake May has played the best out of Caleb, Jaden, Drake, Bo Nix, Penix Jr., JJ. I think Drake's played the best, to be honest. I think Jaden's been solid, and then Jaden's numbers aren't going to look that well compared to like Drake's and Caleb's because he missed the game. And I don't know if he's playing this Sunday. So, yeah. Caleb, I don't think he looks better than Drake at all. He has some good, decent numbers, though. But I think Drake's look the best, and he has fantastic numbers to back it up. I think Drake's only problem is that Drake is having, like, he's one of those Josh Allen kind of guys that take a lot of risks. I think he needs to dial some of his risk-taking back. Like, he's like a Brett Favre guy that just do unnecessary things. And sometimes unnecessary works, and sometimes the unnecessary does not work. So, like last week, the fumble he had, he just gotta just pull the ball down because he wasn't even gonna get sacked. He got a little pressure, move. The pocket was collapsing, but he was able to move, just moving around. Couldn't find nothing, but he just needs to tuck it and just take the sack. He's trying to keep moving, and then next thing you know, he gets sacked from the blind side. It pops out. Now it's a fumble. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that you just cannot do. You know, but them are the growing pains. He's the youngest out of that group. He's has the least experience, so he has to understand that those are things you just cannot do. Like with Caleb last year and kind of this year, his problem was trying to be too careful, trying not to take that many risks. You know what I'm saying? Being too careful, so not throwing passes that you think you could get in there. Think that like unless it's wide open, he's not throwing it basically. You know what I'm saying? Trying not to make too many plays outside the pocket. You know what I'm saying? Being very, very conservative. So Drake needs to come down a little bit, and Caleb needs to go up a little bit. And then I think that's where you'll see those superb talents, you know, that we see stand out more. You'll see better performances from those two. Let's get to the next group. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the next group. Bam! I think this is row 4. Row 4. Jared Goff, Danny Dimes, Dak, Matthew Stafford. I think the biggest story of this whole NFL season right now. Well, it's the biggest story, but it's like not the biggest story because no one believes in it, but it's Daniel Jones' resurgence with the Indianapolis Colts. Daniel Jones has literally been, as far as play, a top 5 QB. Literally, like he's been a top 5 QB in terms of play. Like, do I think he's a top 5 QB? Hell no. But as far as these first 3 weeks in play, Daniel Jones has played excellent. He's not turning the ball over, which he did a lot in New York. You know, he's getting time to throw. They have a run game. He's throwing accurate. You know, he's throwing with anticipation. The man averaged almost like 300 pass yards a game. Like, the man is looking fantastic, and I think this is the highest he's been rated probably on anybody's quarterback list ever. Because this is around like top 10 territory. This is like 4. This is around top 10 territory. This could be 7 through 10 right here. Matthew Stafford. That second half of that Philadelphia game was terrible. That's why he dropped. Dak been good for these. I was trying to see should I switch him and Jordan Love. I mean, they have similar numbers. I think Dak hasn't had a performance as bad as Jordan Love did and that offense did against Cleveland. Even though they got blew out against the Bears, I mean, Dak had a pretty good performance for the most part. One of those picks wasn't really even his. I hate that they count receiver drops into quarterback interceptions because it's like it's really not even his fault. The ball hitting it in his hands, he bobbled it. Like Kyler last night. Kyler throws the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. right in the hands, and Marvin Harrison like is running with it for a second, and then like just bobbled it, and then it turns into an interception, and that's a pick, on Kyler's behalf. So like I hate interceptions like that. Jared Goff balled out Monday night, but he didn't really have to do much. I mean, Gibbs and fucking David Montgomery ran for 200 yards, so When you can just dominate a team on the ground like that, you don't even have to do much. But they put the ball in his hands to end the game, to ice the game. That was a beautiful throw to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Beautiful lob. He doing what he's supposed to do. Let's get to the next row. Row 3. Boom. This is row 3 right here. We got Jay Herbo, Bake Show, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts moves up after that phenomenal second half performance against the Rams last week. I think threw 3 touchdowns, like 250 plus yards in that second half, and led a comeback win. Bake Show, literally his 3rd game-winning drive of the season, and we're only in week 3, going on week 4. They actually play each other this week. Now if anybody know, if you watch the Brain Array segment where I do my top 10 teams, I think I am very high on the Bucks. I think they're going to lose this week to the Eagles only because they don't have Chris Godwin back. They don't have Mike Evans not going to play this week, and they had like 2 injuries on the offensive line. So I'm pretty sure that if Baker upsets the Eagles with missing pieces, he might be in front of Justin Herbert for MVP with 3 game-winning drives, and they're gonna be the number 1 in the NFC and beating the defending champs, and also he will end the Eagles streak because the Eagles are like 18, 19 or 0 or something since last year, since like week 4 last year. They haven't lost a game. Then you got Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert probably has the best play of the season so far with that throw to Keenan Allen around Nick Bottino. Justin Herbert has no run game, which is insane. Think about a Jim Harbaugh team with no run game. But the offensive line is not creating anything for Omarion Hampton at all. Justin Herbert did like the leading rusher on the team. So the team's success right now is basically all on Justin Herbert's arm, and he's getting it done, game to game to game. They beat the Chiefs, beat the Broncos, and that's 2 tough divisional games, and he balled out against both of those teams. Also, they made a comeback because in old Chargers fashion, they would have lost that game to Denver. They would have did some Charger shit and blew that game. They came back and took that game from Denver. And because of that that Charger defense and Justin Herbert, they're 3-0, and he's playing amazing. Let's get to the second row. Top 3. Let's get to the top 3, man. Get them boys in there. Action Jackson, Patty, and Patrick Mahomes. And I know people are going to ask me, why is Patrick Mahomes this high? His quarterback's playing better than him. But this is not only just a week-to-week based thing. Like, certain guys like Lamar, Patrick, you know what I'm saying? Those are guys that you just... Them is MVPs in this league. This is not only a week-to-week. This is where I think you rank amongst the rest of the QBs. You know what I'm saying? And Patrick, I gotta see what Patrick looks like when he gets his actual weapons back. We know who Patrick Mahomes is. You know what I'm saying? Now, is he playing better than some of the guys that's under him? No, I don't think he's even playing better than Daniel Jones. I don't think he's playing better than Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, Baker. I don't think he's playing better than those guys, but also, most of those guys got all their weapons. He doesn't have Rasheed Rice. He doesn't have Xavier Worthy. And I know that's not like, they're not like CeeDee Lamb or something, but those are his top 2 receiving targets. And when you don't have your weapons, when you're throwing to Tyquan Thornton all game, your offense is not going to look the same. You know what I'm saying? You have a regressing Travis Kelce. You know what I'm saying? But this is Patrick Mahomes we're talking about, bro. Like, let's not do that. Action Jackson. He lost last week. Had a few plays. He had sacked a lot. A few of them sacks was his fault. He just wasn't throwing the ball away. You know what I'm saying? He didn't necessarily play bad to move down, but I just don't think he had a better game than the guy that's above him. Who's the number 1 guy? Josh Allen. I don't think he played better than Josh Allen at all. I just think he didn't play better than Josh Allen. Josh Allen had a complete game against who they played? Miami, yeah. He had a complete game against Miami. Had an amazing game. One of my biggest concerns also with the Ravens, though, they cannot run the ball, which is a problem. They can't run the ball with Derrick Henry. This is the first time, I think, in Lamar's career that they've had back-to-back games without 100 rushing yards. They didn't rush for 100 against Cleveland. They didn't rush for 100 against Detroit. So That's one of the things that's kind of concerning. But I think this is the pyramid right here of the best quarterbacks. I think this is the tier ranking of the best quarterback. I think Josh has been the best QB right now. I think Lamar was after last week. Patrick, Herbo, Bake Show, Jalen, Golf Dimes, Dak, Stafford, Drake, J-Lo, Caleb, Jay, Gino, CJ, A-Rod, Sam, Kyler, Trevor, Cam, Bo, Mac, Fields, Flacco, Penix, Tua, Bryce. That sounds about right. Who in here? I don't know if this Daniel Jones shriek is gonna follow. Like, is he gonna be Sam Darnold from last year? Like, I need to see like 4 more weeks. You know what I'm saying? I think he's the one that's fall. My hot take is that Drake May is going to be a fast riser. I think by the end of this year, he could have a very valuable case of being cemented in those top 4 roles, which will make him a top 10 quarterback. So I think Danny Dimes is gonna fall out. I don't know. Like, I'm just not believing that hype. I think Stafford is gonna fall out. I think Drake, Caleb, and Jaden all could be top 10 QBs by the end of this year. I think Stafford's getting older. By next year, Stafford probably won't be better than those 3. I think Danny Dimes won't be in there. I think maybe Dak. I think 3 spots are going to be open by next year going into next season. I think those 3 spots for a top 10 spot will be open. I'm not going to lie. I think Drake and Jaden for sure will end this season or going into next season as a top 10 QB. And I think Caleb, J-Lo, and Dak will be fighting for that last spot, that contention spot. CJ is very disappointing because CJ had a lot of hype after this rookie season. And CJ is like not really good at all right now. Not really good at all. Also, actually I lied. I forgot because once Joe Burrow comes back, certain guys is getting pushed further down. Once Joe comes back, then certain guys getting pushed further down. So, but I'm just speaking of right now. I think Drake can get into the top 10. I think Jay can come back healthy, get into the top 10. J-Lo and Caleb can be top 10 guys. Dak might end up, even though Dak been playing decent this year, Dak might fall out. Daniel Jones probably gonna fall out. He's probably not even gonna make it into the top 10 through at the end of the season. Hopefully, like guys like Michael Penix move up. Cam Ward's playing decent, so Cam Ward could even get up into top 15 talks. I don't know though, because they're not good enough, and he's probably not going to have enough help. Like I told y'all about his receivers. I know it's going to be a lot of Broncos fans mad about this Bo Nix placement, but I'm not a Bo Nix believer. I said that last year. I've never thought Bo Nix. I didn't think Bo Nix was better than guys like Jaden and Drake. I don't think he's better than Caleb. I think he had some better play than Caleb last year. You know what I'm saying? I think Caleb's pretty bad, but I don't really think he's on their level at all. I don't. I just think he's like a game manager who's in a great position with the Broncos defense, and Sean Payton calling plays, but I don't think he's like if the Broncos had Drake May, Caleb Williams, or like Jay Daniels, I think they'd be in a very great position. Shaky on the Caleb, you know what I'm saying? But I think if they had Drake or Jade, there would be. Well, I ain't gonna say shaky on the Caleb, because I said this because my father's a Bears fan. I always tell him this. I think Caleb in like Bo Nix position like would be really good. Because like last year, Caleb literally should have had like 3-4 game-winning drives. The Bears could have made the playoffs last year. He took them, gave them a field goal against Washington. That's the Hail Mary game. He had a game-winning drive against Minnesota. He had a game-winning drive against Green Bay. I think where the field goal got blocked or something. He should have had like 3-4 game-winning drives last season, which would have changed the momentum of that team last year. So I don't think Caleb is as bad as a lot of people try to make it seem. Caleb does have his struggles, you know what I'm saying, which is kind of surprising coming out of college at USC. But I think there's miles ahead of Bo Nix. Yeah, and that's the end of the segment, man. King of the Turf. We're gonna be doing this segment next week, probably right after Monday. So like this will be dropping again Tuesday, Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Right around time. It either drop before Brain Array or right after Brain Array when we do our top 10 teams. When we dropping King of the Turf, doing our top 32. This is like then the top 28 quarterbacks because those other guys didn't even make the camp. I ain't gonna lie. But that's all, man. Thank you for, you know what I'm saying, for the audience. You know what I'm saying? Like, comment, subscribe, share, comment down below and let me know who do you think should move up or down the list. Up and down, you know what I'm saying, the pyramid. You know what I'm saying? We got more content coming. Stay tuned, man. Turn on post notifications because we got plenty of content dropping. Patriots fans, I know y'all been hearing me talking about I'm a Patriots fan. I got a video finna drop for us. Got content for us. We should not be worried at all. There's a few more teams I want to talk about on here. There's a few more teams. But yeah, that's all for the video, man. TBOS out.